let me tell you about the incredibly original and mind-blowingly unique movie where our protagonist, let's call him, or her, A. I am not really sure what a traveling spirit identifies as. So, A hops around like a hot potato from one unsuspecting teenager to another every single day. After waking up, the first thing A does is, he takes more selfies than your average influencer and setting timers, like he is preparing for a cosmic tea party at 11 p.m. and 11:50 p.m. Because when you're a spirit on the go, scheduling is key, obviously. So, one fine day, A wakes up in the oh-so-charming body of Justin Smith, who's got the personality of a rock and the sensitivity of a cactus. But hold on, he's got a girlfriend named Rhiannon, the unlucky soul shackled to the emotional equivalent of a brick wall, also known as Justin. She's head over heels, but he can't be bothered to reply to texts or treat her like anything more than a potted plant. Romance at its finest. Now, A decides to make Justin's life a tad less miserable for a change. They play hooky from school with Rhiannon, have a romantic day out, singing songs, frolicking on the beach, and sharing deep emotional stories about family drama. Because nothing says true love like skipping school and oversharing about your dad's past meltdowns. But, surprise, surprise, A has commitment issues, not relationship-wise, mind you, just with his own identity crisis. Now, in a classic sequel twist, A wakes up as Amy, because gender bending is just another Tuesday for our spirit friend. Amy is probably not even in the same social stratosphere as Justin and Rhiannon. But wait, A has a plan. Amy's going undercover at Rhiannon's school to get closer to her because that's totally normal behavior. Meanwhile, Justin's back to his usual antics, ignoring Rhiannon like she's an outdated meme. Amy and Rhiannon are in the chemistry lab when Justin enters and complains about missing practice the day before. He doesn't seem to remember what happened yesterday, which makes Rhiannon sad. Justin even says it's her fault he missed practice. Amy gets really mad and speaks up for Rhiannon, telling Justin he's not appreciating the good things in his life. Rhiannon asks Amy to stop. Justin looks at her strangely, and then he leaves. After the argument, Rhiannon, feeling upset, asks Amy to be with her friend Alexander and leaves. Fast forward to the next day, A's now Nathan, the human version of Beige. A goes about his routine, doing whatever it is that body-snatching spirits do. Meanwhile, Justin and Rhiannon are at a party where Justin pulls a Houdini on Rhiannon, leaving her all by her lonesome. Nathan, our newfound hero, shows up, busting out some dance moves that would make a dad at a wedding cringe. Rhiannon, in her infinite wisdom, joins in the awkward dance-off. But oh no, Justin, who's apparently been practicing selective ignorance, notices the shenanigans and decides to swoop in like a misguided knight in shining armor. He glares at Nathan, probably thinking, "How dare you dance with my neglected girlfriend?" The love triangle takes a turn for the absurd, and we're left wondering if A's just an interdimensional matchmaker with a taste for teenage melodrama. So Nathan, the guy who's been practicing his impersonation skills, decides to spice things up. He introduces himself as Steve's non-existent cousin and throws in a casual, "I'm gay" for good measure. Smooth move, Nathan. To send Justin away, he adds he is attracted to Justin. After he leaves, Rhiannon gets the VIP invitation to the Nathan show outside. They chat about Rhiannon's taste in men, because what better topic when you're hanging out with a guy who's not really himself? They laugh, they talk, they bond, but oh no, Nathan's got a curfew, and he's got to skedaddle before the clock strikes 12. In a shocking twist of Sherlock-level deduction, Justin realizes that Steve's cousin was a phantom and rushes downstairs to shoo Nathan away. Now, enter the next day, and A is pulling a Helen Keller. He wakes up as a blind boy and can't find his phone. So, naturally, the entire day is spent stumbling around the room, feeling like a lost puppy and contemplating the meaning of life without a smartphone. Meanwhile, Nathan has taken up a new hobby: internet trolling. He's out there claiming he's been possessed by a devil. Classic Nathan, always aiming for the top tier of the ways to confuse people list. Now brace yourself, because the next day, Rhiannon gets a mysterious text from a random number, inviting her to a rendezvous in a public place. She, being the brave soul she is, heads to the library and meets Megan, a girl with a tale crazier than a soap opera plot twist. A in the body of Megan spills the beans about her life as a cosmic spirit, waking up in different bodies like it's a game of body-swapping bingo. Rhiannon, being the skeptic she is, thinks it's all an elaborate prank, but Megan, determined to convince her, starts reciting sweet nothings that A, as Justin said on their date. Freaked out, Rhiannon does a speedy exit, leaving Megan and her spirit stories in the dust. Fast forward to the next day. Rhiannon gets another cryptic message, and this time she decides to meet A in a diner. Surprise, surprise. It's not Megan anymore. It's an Asian boy. A then spills the beans on his daily body-hopping shenanigans. He even shows off his Instagram account, where he's basically the selfie king of soul-swapping. Rhiannon's skepticism is slowly morphing into reluctant belief. Being the Nancy Drew she never knew she could be, Rhiannon decides to investigate. She hits up Nathan at a church, and the poor guy claims he got possessed by the devil. He remembers bits and pieces. When he woke up the next day, his phone was logged into the devil Instagram account. However, he says that someone changed the login information before he could save any pictures. Rhiannon, now fully on the A train, believes every word. The saga continues as Rhiannon spots a mysterious girl in the hallways and figures it's A. They have a heart-to-heart about Nathan. It turns out that A couldn't reach Nathan's house in time and had to leave his body quickly. So, he forgot to sign out of his Instagram on Nathan's phone. Rhiannon thinks that A invaded her privacy by kissing her while pretending to be Justin. He apologizes and explains that he doesn't do that with everyone, but it felt different with her, like he stumbled upon the last cookie in the jar or something. Now, in a shocking turn of events, Rhiannon confronts the oblivious Justin about that magical day. But hold on to your seats, folks, because Justin's memory is foggy, like trying to remember where you put your keys after a night out. Fast forward to the next day, and A's sporting a new look as George. He invites Rhiannon to a library and pulls the classic "Who are you again?" prank. Oh, what a knee slapper. They talk about A's life, and in a surprising twist, they share a kiss. But wait, George's overprotective mother swoops in, calling Rhiannon a classy name. Let's say she labels her a nightlife enthusiast. Rhiannon, the picture of grace, runs away in her car, grinning like she just won a lottery of bad decisions. Now brace yourselves, because A's in for a surprise. He wakes up as Rhiannon. Cue the awkward morning routine where he's trying not to check out his borrowed body in the shower. At school, Justin, blissfully unaware, starts planting kisses on Rhiannon. A, the nervous body sitter, hopes Rhiannon won't unleash her fury on him tomorrow for the unexpected lip lock. After school, Rhiannon does the unthinkable. She goes to her dad's studio and bonds with him. A painting is involved because nothing says family bonding like art. Later, A writes a note detailing the day for Rhiannon to read tomorrow. The next day, Rhiannon reads the note and decides to end things with Justin by herself. She has come to the realization that he isn't the right fit for her. Justin, in utter shock, wishes her the best before storming away like a character in a telenovela. Then, we shift scenes to Rhiannon and A as a different guy driving to her uncle's cabin in the woods. They spend the day chatting and laughing, making plans to meet again tomorrow. However, A has to bail with the truck they came in, leaving Rhiannon hanging like a cat on a curtain. The next day, Rhiannon waits patiently, but A is a no-show. In the end, she calls her mother for the 3-hour drive of disappointment, complete with a side of maternal anger. Hold on tight, because here comes the kicker. The next day, A wakes up as Michael, the guy with a one-way ticket to Holland. If he takes off, he'll be stuck in Holland forever. Panicking, A calls Rhiannon for a dramatic rescue mission. Rhiannon, in her sister's car, knocks off the driver's side mirror to escape Michael's mother's wrath. She's mad at A for leaving her stranded at the cabin the day before. So, here's the scoop. A's got some explaining to do. He missed a date with Rhiannon because he woke up as a girl undergoing a lung transplant. And, surprise, he couldn't call because apparently cell phones and lung transplants are sworn enemies. But hold on, there's more drama in store. Next day, A decides to jump into the body of Kelsey, who's on the brink of a serious decision, unaliving herself. Rhiannon stumbles upon this real-life melodrama, complete with a detailed plan. Kelsey's dad is set to return at 5 in the morning, so A has to play superhero and prevent the tragic finale. Miraculously, A pulls it off, and Kelsey gets the help she needs. Cue the applause for our body-swapping savior. The next day, A's in Alexander's body, bragging about what a stellar guy he is. Rhiannon, in a questionable move, suggests that A stick around as Alexander for a while, because apparently they're a match made in body-swapping heaven. A, ever the invader of personal space, ignores Alexander's family and birthday surprise to enjoy some quality time with Rhiannon. But alas, A starts feeling guilty for ghosting Alexander's life, so he apologizes to his mother and decides to leave the body. The following day, A sets up a lovely dinner for Rhiannon. During their conversation, he discloses that starting tomorrow, he won't be Alexander anymore because he doesn't want to control his life. He explains that their relationship isn't feasible for the long term, so he suggests Ryan be with Alexander, as he's a good guy and a great match for her. Realizing their fleeting time together, they dance, talk, and cuddle on Alexander's bed like it's the world's weirdest slumber party. The next morning, A wakes up as a rich black girl named Katie and rides off into the sunset in her fancy car. Meanwhile, Ryan's at school, meeting the real Alexander, who decides to compliment her smile. Romance in the hallways of teenage drama. And so, the movie wraps up with A posting a video on Instagram, living it up in Central Park as a brand new person. Why, you ask? Well, because A, in his infinite wisdom and unselfishness, decides to give Ryan a shot at happiness with someone else. Cue the slow clap for the self-proclaimed definition of real love. Who knew swapping bodies could be so heartwarming?